You are welcome to HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. With all that's going on at the moment, with different opinions of what a RICO theory is flying around, government pretending to know it all and the trial judges choosing to take sides and unfairly disadvantage the defense, it's very easy for anybody to get lost in the mix-up and start imagining things that are completely untrue. The lies government came up with to discriminate against R. Kelly and get him locked up with an indirect life sentence are so contagious and can easily contaminate the air we breathe to cause many to imagine that there is in fact a possibility R. Kelly can remain in prison for this. This is however only possible if one has not taken time to do their own research and have their own understanding of what some of these laws state, and how they apply to R. Kelly's case if they ever did in the first place. While it's important to listen to what the attorneys say, becoming your own lawyer for a moment and searching through to get this information can prove to be the game changer as we seek more knowledge about this case against R. Kelly. But because we cannot admit all of us to law school, at HN Newsroom we always work hard to come up with simple steps anyone can follow to find the necessary information to better understand some of these facts we have been speaking on for the past 5 years. A while back we did publish a video that guides the whole world on how to determine that Sony Records, the company that is largely behind R. Kelly's endless legal woes, actually does own Lifetime Television through some of its subsidiary companies. This was important to show the conflict of interest there exists between the entities that claim to be fighting R. Kelly. While Sony wanted us to believe that they dropped R. Kelly due to pressure from the Me Too movement, it turns out they were the Me Too as well. Or rather the force behind the pressure group. And this means when they prematurely ended their contract with R. Kelly even before he was placed on trial to determine whether he was actually guilty, they were in breach of contract, for it was all a game to get rid of him without paying the millions they owed him. The going debate today is on the definition of a RICO enterprise and whether the charges are actually relevant for R. Kelly's case. During the recent New York appeal hearing that took place on the 18th of March 2024, Attorney Jennifer Bonjean made it clear to the appeal judges that in fact R. Kelly should be acquitted when it comes to the RICO charges that are simply misplaced, and that were never supposed to be added to the indictment. What Attorney Jennifer Bonjean is suggesting therefore is that for the RICO charges to apply, the government was obligated to prove that R. Kelly did operate an illegal criminal enterprise, and to achieve this, they needed to prove that the members of this criminal enterprise did share in a common purpose to commit the alleged crimes. While the appeal judges had many questions in this regard, we believe that Bonjean did give them enough information to understand what she was trying to say, and to make the necessary decisions to see that R. Kelly is given the justice he deserves. The argument by the government state attorney is that they needed not prove a common illegal purpose because the jury instruction did not mention this, forgetting that in previous cases, the RICO jury instruction has remained the same, but the demand that the government proves a common purpose as demonstrated in Boyle v. United States of America case remained a prerequisite. Without proving a common illegal purpose therefore, the RICO charges remain hanging with no supportive evidence and will be duly dismissed. As promised, we have condensed the proof of this what we are speaking on in 2 simple searches. And at the end of it all, you will decide for yourself whether it's Attorney Jennifer Bonjean telling the truth or the government. Feed into Google search the following keywords. What government must prove to convict with RICO? This will likely return a search result from a legal encyclopedia called NOLO at nolo.com, and the result reads as follows. To convict a defendant under RICO, the government must prove that the defendant engaged in 2 or more instances of racketeering activity, and that the defendant directly invested in, maintained an interest in, or participated in a criminal enterprise affecting interstate or foreign commerce. Mark the words criminal enterprise. Note that we are not arguing on whether a criminal enterprise has to be legal or illegal. All we are noting from this is the term criminal enterprise, which must be proved. And so now we move forward to determining what this criminal enterprise is that Bonjean insists the government was not able to prove during trial. And so we Google the search term "what is a criminal enterprise" by entering the phrase into the Google search tool, but this time we look for a particular resource known as Law Insider. This is a dictionary of laws available on the website lawinsider.com. And so we enter the search term "what is a criminal enterprise" at Law Insider. The result we get says the following. A criminal enterprise means a group of persons sharing a common purpose of engaging in criminal conduct, associated in an ascertainable structure distinct from a pattern of criminal activity, and with continuity of existence, structure and criminal purpose beyond the scope of individual criminal incidents. From this, mark the words "common purpose of engaging in criminal conduct," and also beyond individual criminal incidents. This is what Attorney Bonjean has been trying to tell the appeal judges all along. If to charge RICO, government must prove a criminal enterprise, and the definition of a criminal enterprise involves a group of people who must have a common purpose of engaging in criminal conduct, then the government is wrong to imagine they needed not prove the common purpose to commit crime. This also clarifies that the common purpose must be to commit crime, not to promote singers' music. Without an illegal common purpose, therefore, RICO is not applicable, and guess what? That is what the government and the trial judges are objecting. In fact, the appeal court shouldn't be debating this obvious truth as in the audio that follows.
The alleged enterprise.
But I think you're conflating the fifth and the first elements of a RICO claim. The first is just the existence of an enterprise. It can be a labor union, right?
Again, Your Honor, I'm not talking about the ascertainable structure. I'm talking about the structure.
I'm not talking about the
has
ascertainable structure either. I'm talking about the legal entity of a labor union is sufficient for enterprise.
Agreed. It still has to have a purpose.
The fifth element is that the defendant conducted or participated in the conduct of the enterprise through his previously established pattern of racketeering activity. So it has to be a link between what the defendant is doing as a pattern of racketeering activity and the conduct of the enterprise. That's the last element. You seem to be flipping that into the enterprise, and I think that's where you're getting confused.
I don't believe I am. I think the United States Supreme Court in Boyle made it very clear that an enterprise has to be more than just the pattern of racketeering.
According to Majaran, the appeal court should simply dismiss these bogus RICO charges because we all know they are inappropriate for R. Kelly's case. This shouldn't have even reached appeal level but for the compromised trial court judges who could not resist their overwhelming appetite to prejudice R. Kelly. The searches are clear. To prove RICO, one must prove a criminal enterprise. Not just an enterprise but a criminal enterprise. And the definition of a criminal enterprise involves common purpose to commit crime. This means the enterprise must be the one rooted in crime, and not just a member of the enterprise. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.